Welcome to the Worst Case Scenario channel. Today I want to go over picking an emergency radio. I strongly suggest that you either have one in your hands before buying or go out and look at reviews at a minimum. And the reason why is the quality of these things you can't really see when just buying something online. Like this one right here looks pretty good on paper, but the knobs fall off of it so easily. They're barely even attached, and this thing is, once that knob is lost, which is almost instantly because a little bump it'll fall off, then you can't, it's a pain to turn the thing. This model right here I don't believe is still in production, but I'm including this review just because more than a product review, I want this to be as an educational thing on what to look for. So, number one, quality. This one has the buttons falling off already. This one is made by Sharper Edge Products, model Flag H1. The second one over here was made by High Tong Plastics Electric Factory. And this one over here is an Eaton FR300. The bottom two you can still buy, and there's actually even a newer one of these available, but I'm just including this, like I said, more for what to look for when you do purchase. There are a lot of options. Alright, first thing to look at is quality. This one has the buttons falling off almost instantly, and the Eaton one looks like a pretty good solid product. It's got the nice durable case. It looks like it could take a hit. I like the handle on it, and the knobs are securely on there, which is good. Next thing I like to look at is this thing going to be always charged when I need it? This has a nice feature where you can plug it directly into the wall, and so I know I can just plug this thing and grab it and go when I need it. So this is exactly what I'm looking for in this category. The other two products, they both have a place where you can charge them, but neither one of them actually came with a charger. So I'd give them about a half a point on there. If you want to go out and get a separate charger for it so you can have it plug in and ready to go, then that would be good, but I really think the charger should be part of a product like this. That's my opinion anyways. Next thing you want to look at is, does it have a solar charger? None of these products have a solar charger, unfortunately, but I think that's something nice to have because it's something that will be getting power without you having to worry about batteries or having to crank the thing to get it to work. So that's really a bonus for me. The next thing I like to look at is the dynamo. The dynamo is really important to me because you should assume that there's going to be no electrical power, batteries, light. Just assume that you're going to be in a hole somewhere waiting something out. What I'd like to do is a 5-turn test. So I'll go ahead and turn this on and see that, go ahead and run the battery all the way out on this, which it was almost run out to begin with for my test here. I'm just going to turn it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to see how much power, how much juice we get out of that little 5 quick 5 turns. Just a contrast, if we take this other product and do 5 turns. I didn't even have enough juice in there to light up the light. So I kind of use it as a baseline. It might not quite be a fair test because, you know, different amount. There's one LED versus, you know, a whole bunch in this product. But I'm looking more for how much I have to do to get light, period, or radio, etc. So I guess it's I'm not looking to, you know, power a whole city. I'm just looking to have light and radio in my little enclosure while I'm waiting for something out. So that's a big factor for me. Just for review purposes, this one right here had the best out of the 3. The other 2, you had to do quite a bit of cranking to get some juice out of. Next thing to consider is instant power, and by instant power I mean replaceable batteries in this thing. Having the crank, you don't want to be messing with the crank. You know, you want to be saving as much time as possible. It's good to have the crank and solar power, those other options, but in an emergency situation, you need power now immediately to find out what is going on, to get light, to get the things you need. And it's you would think it'd be a no-brainer for these to have replaceable batteries that you could charge via another means, but this product doesn't have it. The bottom 2 you can put batteries in, but not the first one, so it's just something else to factor in there. Next thing I like to look for is, do the products have light, because I like to consolidate as much as possible, and if you know, having a light in it is just another bonus. I don't rely on this because the main purpose of this is for a radio, but if it does have a light, that's nice. And really, all modern products should have it with the LED technology that we have now. The last thing is another important thing, and that's if it has a phone charger. These 2 products both have phone chargers, whereas this doesn't. And as much as I like the dynamo on this, I would not use that as my sole emergency kit thing, because I want to be able to be charging my phones. Just because the phone is a vital piece of my emergency kit, in my humble opinion. A little side note on that, none of these products came with an actual phone adapter, so you might have to go to get a cable for that. Went to Radio Shack, and they have adapters that you can basically make your own cable by just picking the 2 ends that you need and plugging them in. And I tested it, and I was able to charge my phone just fine from the dynamo on these products. But just a little side note on that, don't assume that you can just grab one of these that say it charges a phone and it will charge your phone. With all the different phone adapters out there, iPhone, Android, you really want to have that kind of bug worked out ahead of time. Now, those are all the things that I think are key for having an emergency radio. However, just like my first video, you may have some special needs to consider. Like, do you have a family and kids, or are you alone? If you have a family and kids, then you might want to consider making sure that the product has a headphone jack also, and that way you can be listening in while the rest of your family sleeps. And also so your kids don't hear what's going on. So it just goes to you directly, because in a lot of emergency situations, distracting your kids will be a priority for you. I hope this video was helpful, and please feel free to leave comments below.